The European currencies are closing this year at their 2.5-year highs. In fact, the pound sterling and the euro were gaining in value during the whole year. The US dollar made rare attempts to rise against its major rivals. Notably, such advances were short-lived. The European currencies had a lot of reasons to recover, despite the fact that the eurozone entered a deeper virus-induced crisis than the United States. The currencies were also under the pressure from the trade negotiations between London and Brussels. Several times Boris Johnson announced his readiness to leave the EU without a trade agreement. Nevertheless, the coronavirus pandemic was the main driver during this year. Of course, the EU's economic condition is a bit better than in the European Union. However, its epidemiological situation is really alarming. The number of confirmed virus cases and deaths in the United States significantly exceeds the same indicators in both Brazil and India. Notably, these countries are the second and third worst-hit nations. The US government refused to impose strict containment measures, putting the economy above people's lives. That's why investors became bitterly disappointed. In the future, the country may face serious consequences of such decisions. Moreover, the US healthcare system failed to implement the vaccination plan. By the end of the year, it had been expected to deliver 20 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine. However, this plan was fulfilled only by 13.5%. Thus, only 2.7 million doses of the vaccines were delivered. At the same time, the US presidential election was also weighing on market participants. The election was accompanied by scandals and accusations of fraud, which led to an incredibly long count of votes and then even to recount. Moreover, both candidates avoided discussing economic issues during the race. President-elect Joe Biden revealed his economic policy only after the voting. Thus, a prolonged drop in the US dollar was mainly triggered by concerns about the US economic future, which looks really gloomy. Once again, the euro-dollar pair hit a new local high of the midterm uptrend. As a result, the price touched the level limit of the range of 1.23 and 1.25 locked in 2018. It's quite possible that this channel will exert pressure on market participants. This, in turn, may result in a full-scale correctional movement. Recently, the euro was significantly overbought. At the same time, the pound sterling reached a fresh local high, hitting the level of 1.3650. Significant overbought conditions cannot stop speculators. Notably, the area of 1.3650 and 1.37 acted as resistance. This may influence the volume of long positions. The resistance area of 1.3650 and 37 may lead to lower speculative activity. Moreover, an early closure of exchanges may cause the pair's fluctuation along his resistance area. If the price consolidates above 1.37 on the 4-hour chart, it's likely to continue rising. That's all for now. See you in several hours on InstaForex TV channel. We will find out how American traders are closing this trading year.